Hey everyone, it's Tony George from DocSports.com. This is a Saturday college football bowl game as bowl madness sets in full time here. I'm taping this on Friday morning. We have a top play on Friday on a two-pack in the bowls. We'll tell you everything else that's going on over at DocSports.com at the end of the free play. And of course, the Pop-Tart Bowl played in Orlando, Florida. Between Miami and Iowa State. I like to call it the frosted brown sugar cinnamon bowl, as I'm a Pop-Tart lover. Oh yeah. There's nothing better than a brown sugar cinnamon frosted Pop-Tart popping out of the toaster, pull it out warm, put a little butter on it, a little ice cold milk, cup of coffee. That's exactly what I had in honor of this video for breakfast this morning. As you can tell, I'm not watching my calorie intake right now. This move to Kansas City over the winter before I go back to Vegas has put on about 9 pounds. So lots of barbecue, lots of Midwestern, a lot of casseroles in the Midwest. Nonetheless, let's get to the game. Now, the last time we saw these two teams, they both sucked. Now, Iowa State sucked a little worse. They got pounded 45-19 in the Big 12 title game. Never even got off the bus. Just got completely outplayed, outcoached, out-hustled, out-everything. Wasn't even competitive. And Miami, with Cristobal as head coach, decided with one of the best teams in the country and arguably the best quarterback in the country who is playing, if for some reason Cam Ward doesn't play, this video is null and void. But nonetheless, they managed to lose to a couple of also-rans in Georgia Tech and Syracuse with one of the best teams in the country. Blew themselves out of the ACC title game, any chance of getting in the final 12 for the playoff because they couldn't beat Syracuse. They could have won both those games. They didn't. Cristobal's a bad coach. You did not have your team up and ready to play, because Syracuse, if you don't bring your A game, they'll give you a ball game. McCord's no joke a quarterback for them. That's why Ohio State recruited him as a 5-star. But nonetheless, that's the rub against Miami here is the coaching mismatch, because Matt Campbell from Iowa State's a good football coach. He's been to 6 bowls. He's only won 2 of them. I don't think they're going to win this one. If Miami... Bear in mind, this is the number 1 scoring offense in college football, the number 1 offense in yard production at 538 yards a game. That's unreal. Putting up 44 points a game. Only allowing like 19, 21, something like that. Pretty good defense. They're ranked 28th overall in college football, or 21st in yards allowed per game. Now, the rub that keeps the line down is everybody's saying, well, Iowa State, they got the number 4 pass defense in the country in yards allowed. So, name me a quarterback in the Big 12 they played against this year that is even close to being as prolific as Cam Ward is. He's going to be playing on Sundays. Name me one. Now, the other thing, too, that gives me pause to back Iowa State here is since I moved back to Kansas City, I've been able to go up and see my Huskers play in Lincoln, been able to see my Chiefs play at Arrowhead Stadium, and I also was around to see Kansas take on Iowa State at Arrowhead Stadium, and Kansas hung 45 points on this Iowa State defense and went up and down the field on them like a hot knife on butter, and they were helpless to stop them. And Daniels for Kansas is a fairly good quarterback. Not as good as Ward. What do you think Cam Ward and company are going to do? If they show up and want to prove to everybody they're one of the best teams in the country, if they put up 538 yards, they're going to hang 42 in this, 38 to 42 points in this game, which brings in the 56.5 to play too. So I think Iowa State will put up some points. That over might be just as tasty as the side at 56.5, but I'll lay the 3.5. and expect Miami's head coach to get his head out of his butt, coach a good game, have his team ready to play, and try and prove a point to the country. Because if they do, they're a touchdown better than Iowa State for sure, if not more, in my opinion. Lay the 3.5, take the Hurricanes, and they are playing in their home state, so they're going to have a majority of the crowd. Now, Iowa State, I will tell you this, being a Big 12 guy, growing up in Lincoln, Nebraska, living in the Midwest for all but about 7 years of my life when I moved to Vegas, Iowa State travels as good as any team in the country, basketball or football. Yeah, so they'll have some fans there, but I don't think it matters. Give me Miami. All right, we have a 2-pack on Friday with a top play. We have a 2-pack of bowl games on Saturday. We have a 4-unit NFL play on Saturday as well. Unbeaten in the NFL this week. Interesting game. Crappy game on Thursday night. I had Seattle first half line minus 2.5. 6-3 halftime score. They cover by half a point. 6-3 final. What a dud. But that does bring into play this weekend, including Saturday, how important that Rams-Arizona game is on Saturday night, huh? Yeah, that division's up for grabs. Interesting. You wonder, Arizona show up after getting deflated and beat by Carolina last week and got out of the race and knocked out of the playoffs? Or do they want to play spoiler because they hate the Rams? And can the Rams perform with the tight noose around their neck? Gonna find out, aren't we? Some interesting scenarios this weekend in the NFL. A lot of guys playing for their job. A lot of guys coaching for their job. A lot of teams don't give a rat's ass. Some teams are going to lay back because they're already in the playoffs. Tiptoe through the tulips slightly on Sunday. I've got a 7-unit top play in the Vikings and Packers game, the biggest game of the weekend. Yeah, I got a strong opinion in that game with 2 others. We will have some basketball sprinkled in. We will have the prop market. If you're not betting props, and this is a great weekend to bet props in some of these games, then you're leaving money on the table. We're up over $7,000 to the good the last 60 days for a $100 player. We've had 20 top plays in the NFL this year, in case 16 of them. We've had 5 losses in the NBA with player props the entire season to date. Prop cards are $25. What's that? 3 boxes of Pop-Tarts? Maybe 4? Come on. Get over to Doc's. Have some hockey for you. And then, of course, on Tuesday, we have bowls out all the way through Wednesday of next week. So we have a 2-pack on Tuesday. And we have a 5-unit top play, singled out best bet, the first day of 2025. Let's go ahead and make a substantial wager on the Georgia-Notre Dame game. Come on, Doc Sports. Back up again later Saturday with NFL free play for Sunday for you. Let's keep the free play streak rolling. I think we're doing pretty good, right?